I'm Claire. I haven't met everyone before. Thanks very much for coming to the class today. If you've never done an online exercise class before, there's a couple of things I want to draw your attention to. And that is that we're all exercising in the comfort of our own home or here at the clinic. So there's perhaps no one around. If something was to go awry, you were to injure yourself or hurt yourself during the class, then you need to be aware of that and listen to your body and stop if you don't feel comfortable with any of the movements I suggest tonight. I'll try to offer alternatives for each of the movements. So there's something easier, something harder, some variation on the theme. So please exercise within what feels comfortable for you. You're welcome to stop and leave at any time. If you have any concerns or problems arising during the class, it would be great if we know about it later. So please call the clinic tomorrow or send us an email to let us know that something's not right. I certainly want to help you to exercise safely and enjoy some movement tonight. What else? Yes, as I said, at any time, unmute yourself if you need to urgently let me know something. I am recording the class. I'm only recording my end of the screen and the audio and the visual so that you can watch this back again later within this next week. However, if you unmute yourself and say something, you will appear in the recording, just to let you know. I'm sure we can edit that out though. What else? The exercise that I'd planned for tonight is a little bit higher intensity, but because there's now some people in the class that I've not exercised with before, I'll try to tone that back a little bit. You have to bear with me. It'll be a little bit on the fly, and we'll give it a go. So I'll have a bit of a laugh and have a bit of a go at these things, just enjoy some moving tonight. I really appreciate all of you coming along to the class and giving this a go. It's our first proper run of doing classes like this. I normally do mat-based exercise class with people here in this studio. So it's a first for us as much as it might be for you as well. I think that's maybe everything. We'll get started in just a sec. If you've got some equipment around you, exercise equipment like exercise bands or the small soft balls nearby, you could have them handy. You might like to use them to make some of your movements more challenging. You don't have to though. Everything can be done with no equipment, just your own body weight and the mat. I would like you to use furniture that might be available to you around the space in which you're exercising, whether that's a veranda post or a couch or a chair, dining chair, table, sturdy piece of furniture. I'll be doing some things in standing, so you might need the support for balance. And certainly you could also use the furniture for support. For example, if we were to try doing a push-up, but you can't do a push-up, that's okay. You can always lean against the wall and do a push-up. So that will be a suggestion for tonight too. Okay, well, everyone's muted. Sorry, and I can't see you actually now. I don't know why that stopped, unfortunately. But hopefully you can all see and hear me okay, and we'll get started. So I'll just angle this up a little bit so hopefully you can see me exercising on the mat. Get everyone to come up into standing tonight. I'll have to tilt it up a bit more so you can see my face. So standing up in a space that's comfortable for you, I want you to stand with your arms up above your head, hands together, bring them down in front of you and hold your wrists together, doing some circles with the wrists, warming up through the hands and wrist joints. Hold your hands in the other direction, left over right instead of right over left, and moving from side to side. Making some figure eights with the hands. Let's move up the arm joints now. Hold onto your elbow, arm out in front. Take that hand underneath your other arm, over the top. Underneath your arm, over the top. Warming up through the elbow. Even if you just bend and straighten through the elbow is a good way to start. Hold onto your other elbow. Straighten one arm, under and over the other arm here tonight. Bending and straightening, getting some rotation movements as we flex and extend at the elbow. Let's warm up through the shoulders now. Give the arms a shake. Start to roll the shoulders, shoulder tips forwards, up to the sides, back and down. Try some shoulder rolls forwards. Starting to get a bit of blood flow to all our exercising muscles. Make the circles a bit bigger now and start to bring your whole arm into the motion. You might start small and get bigger with your circles. You might be able to go the other way. Whatever feels comfortable for you. If you want to keep the circles small, that's fine. Otherwise, going a bit bigger. Extra challenge, maybe go forwards and back. Warming up through the shoulder joints and the other way. Keep getting your circles a bit bigger with the shoulders if you can. Lovely. Bring your arms down to rest. Let's warm up through the back. Hands on your hips. Feet hip width apart. Nice big circle with your hips like you're in the hula hoop. Draw a big circle with your hips. Out behind, out to the side, in front, to the side and behind. Nice big circles. Other way. Take the circle as big as you can. Round and around you go. Just check my messages. Maybe everyone can't hear me. That's going to be a problem. Keep going circles with the hips. Very good. Let's move down to the knees now. Coming to standing, hands down onto your knees. Do some circles with the knees. Very gentle joint warm up. Some people might have been sitting in chairs all day, haven't done much movement yet. Maybe you've had a really physically active day. Always nice to move the body in a different direction from which you've been positioned all day. Circles with the knees in both directions. Lastly, let's warm up through the feet and ankles. I don't know if you can see my feet, hopefully. Take one foot to the side and draw a big circle, toe touching the ground, but take your ankle in a circle. Big circles around, balancing a little bit on one leg. Swap to the other side, standing on that leg, make big circles with the foot. Tonight's class is a little bit higher intensity, as I said. I'll try to make some of the options for movement a touch easier at times. Do what you can, and if you feel you need to have a break at any time, you're most welcome to. Feel free to have a rest in a comfortable position, perhaps in a chair while you catch your breath, have a drink. If you need to stop at any time, you can. That's Debbie, I think, that's joined us. Hi, Deborah. Thanks for joining the class. We've just done a little bit of a joint warm-up. I'll get you to do some marching on the spot to gently raise your heart rate, ready to do some exercise. For those that have been warming up with me already, you could do a little bit of marching too. Just check that all the joints are feeling pretty warm. You might do a very gentle warm-up of the back as well. Come into standing, feet comfortably apart. Turn and look over one direction. Lift your back foot. Turn and twist the other way. Lift the back foot. Twisting as far as you feel you comfortably can, slowly side to side. Rotating. Okay. Now for a bit more of an intense warm-up. We're going to do some inchworms. For those that are able to join me in this little sequence, we're going to start with a roll down. So that means head first, we're rolling the body down. Chin on your chest, round the shoulders, round your upper back, round your middle back and your lower back. And the last thing to round and slide is your tailbone, sliding away, rounding through the whole body. So you come down into this ragdoll position or bent over position. Whatever feels comfortable for you. Some people might need to keep their knees bent. Otherwise, rolling down into the ragdoll. And from here, we're going to walk your hands down. Now, if this is not possible, stay here and the hands on the knees and you're going to roll back up slowly. However, for everyone else, try walking forwards out to a plank position. Push your body back up, bottom first, walk your hands back in towards you, your knees as bent as far as you need to be, to roll back up from there. If you didn't come down to the ground, that's fine. Walk your hands back up your legs into standing. We're going to do 3 more rolls like that. Chin to your chest, round your shoulders, round the upper back, round the middle back, lower back bends. Hips start to bend now. Let your hands glide down towards the floor. Tailbone's the last thing to bend away. Soften the knees if you need to, otherwise folding forwards. For those joining us into the inchworm, walk your hands forward. Others might need to walk slowly back up their body and roll back up into standing. For those that have walked forward, you've come into your inchworm, push the hips back up, walk the hands back, rolling our body. Tailbone tucks first, middle back, upper back, shoulders, and the head is the last thing to lift up at the end. So let's do the last 2 more times. Chin onto your chest, roll the shoulders, upper back slouches, middle back, lower back, everything bends.
Gliding the tailbone away from you as your hands reach for the floor. Trying to walk the hands forward into your inchworm, or having a pause and a breath in that bent forward position. You don't have to come to the ground. Walking your hands back up your legs if you need to as we uncurl, straightening back up, tailbone first. Middle back, upper back. Keep your chin on your chest until the very last second, and that straightens up as well. Last one, chin onto your chest, round the shoulders, upper back bends, everything's slouching, folding, bending, curling up inside yourself there. Walking the hands forward if you can, or resting your hands on your thin shins or thighs. Walk your hands back and curling back up. Uncurling now. One vertebrae at a time. See if you can stack one joint on top of the other as you come back up into standing. I just wanted to bend down so you could see my head there for a moment. Okay. We've got a couple more exercises in standing to really get the heart racing. For those who are up for something a little bit more high intensity, I want you to see if we can do this together. We're going to do 2 star jumps and then 2 jump lunges. Now, if you're not happy to join me in this, you don't have to. I'll give you an alternate. For those that can, the 2 star jumps and the 2 jump lunges, alternating legs. See how you go. If you're not going to stay at that high intensity, see if you can just step to the side and back. Other side, together. Step forward into a lunge as low as you feel comfortable. Back up. And the other leg. And back down and up. So it's either 2 star jumps to one side, star jump the other side, lunging one way, maybe do a jump change, do into another lunge, come back up. For those that are going fast, 2 star jumps, 2 jump lunges. For others, you might be stepping to the side in your side step and then down into your lunge. Very good. Let's do one more time. So 2 star jumps if you can. Otherwise, just stepping to the sides. 2 jump lunges. Switch legs quickly in the air. And you're starting to huff and puff a little bit now. Good. And down into a lunge. Good. Certainly talking and exercising has got my heart rate up a little bit. Give the legs and arms a bit of a shake. Okay. If you have a piece of furniture nearby, this could be handy. Here's what I prepared earlier. Got a chair here. Maybe you have a chair nearby, or you might have a couch you can hold, or a pole, or some other piece of furniture near you. What I'd like you to try and do is step 1 foot behind, come down into a little curtsy lunge, lift that foot up and over the edge of that item that you're standing near. Maybe you've got a coffee table you could try and reach over with one leg. Foot behind, down into a little curtsy lunge. Lift your leg up. If you don't have any equipment, that's fine. You can just lift your leg up and over in the air. Put your foot behind you. Keep your balance. Hold onto the wall if you need. Into the little curtsy lunge. Lifting the foot up and over. Back behind for the curtsy lunge. We're moving slow and with control. Good. Anyone joining me here? Step over. Oh, the balance is shocking tonight. Too many Easter eggs. Curtsy lunge. Reach over with your foot and back. We're going for about 10 on each leg, so hopefully you're staying on one leg for now. We'll switch sides shortly. Reach up and over with your leg. Curtsy lunge. Up and over. Last one. And down. Let's switch sides. So if you've been working on one side for a while, go to the other. This time, maybe swing to the other leg, up and over something in the air, behind you with your foot. A little curtsy lunge is a lot of hard work for the front leg. As you balance on one leg to lift over with your foot, step behind, little curtsy, up and over. Doing really well. Exhale with effort. Inhale, return. Good. Holding onto the wall if you need at any time. Take a hold onto a chest of drawers near you, on a pole. Good. And forwards. Bit of practice on one leg here. It's the glute muscles here, these outer gluteus, gluteus medius and minimus, working hard to stabilize you for walking, for running, for changing directions, up hills, upstairs. Good. Last one. And back. I'll just keep rabbiting on and maybe distract us from the discomfort there. Well done. Give the legs a shake. Starting to warm up those hip bottom muscles in there. All right, a little bit more in standing tonight. If you've still got something nearby that you could rest your foot on, then that would be great, to use your foot on a chair. Maybe my little screen gets cut off on your screens. What I'd like to try and do is another little lunge series. I'm loving the lunges tonight. With your foot, for balance if you can, up on the couch or a piece of furniture near your coffee table, maybe a step. Don't have to do this though. Can just stay in a lunge with your foot balanced on the floor behind, so you're not using too much weight in that back leg. And we're going for a little single-legged squat at the front, or a lunge, or perhaps even a split lunge up here to the side. So if your foot is up behind you, it's still the front leg that does all the work of a single-legged squat. If you're keeping your foot on the floor, just keep it balanced there for balance as you squat up and down through that one leg. I'm going to go for another 5 here on this leading leg. Doing well. And 4. Promise this won't go all night. 3. Good. And 2. And last one, maybe go a little bit deeper if you haven't already on that front leg. And come back up. Give that leg a shake. The one that was in front would have been working pretty hard. Through the thigh, through the glutes, maybe the knees feeling a bit uncomfortable. For this next round, when we try to going to the other side, keep your weight in your heel on the front leg. Foot floats behind, perhaps up on a piece of equipment, otherwise just behind you. Single-legged squat lunge through the front leg. Try and do all the work in your heel. Maybe your legs up behind. Single-legged squat, holding onto furniture. Very good, only 5 to go. Very good. 4, keep the weight in the heel. 3, oh, it's hard to balance. 2, weight in the heel. Last one, that front leg working really hard, and up. Well done. This is some hard stuff. You're doing really well. Stay with your people. I'll give you some other options. We are going to keep working the legs though and stay in standing just for a little bit longer. All right, let's see if we can do this one together. If you've got some weights nearby, perhaps you have a little bit of a home gym, you could use these now. I've got some small 2-kilo dumbbells here. You don't have to have them though. You can do this without any weight. You might hold, I don't know, a passing cat in each hand or something, I don't know, something heavy. See if we can come out to a wide stance. Squat, arms up out to the sides. Let's go into the squat. Arms up out to the sides. You don't have to do this with weight. Come into a squat, going as low as you can. Hands down and up out to the sides. Bit of shoulder abduction, strength for the deltoids. Legs feeling strong too. Imagine you're sitting down into a chair. Stick the bottom out a little bit. Weight in the heels and look up at your screen. See if you can keep the chest tall. Sink into your heels. Arms out to the side when you come up. Exhale with effort. Inhale, return. Arms to the side. Exhale with effort. Inhale, return. Last one. And up. Okay. Give the legs a shake. Pop your little weights to the side if you're using them. Couple more movements in standing. Not your average mat class for my usual participants, but we are going down onto the mat shortly. A little side shuffle. I want you to see if we can go hop to the side, twist down to your ankle, side shuffle, twist to the ankle, and you might start to move a little bit faster. Step to the side, touch your opposite ankle, get some rotation through the upper back, arm and body. Move as fast as you feel comfortable. So going a bit slower here for those that need a little bit of a slower movement. Step to the side, reach for the opposite knee. Step to the side, opposite shin. Step to the side, you might reach for your toes if you're feeling flexible. Side shuffle, twist. Side shuffle, twist. Perhaps moving quickly. Get the heart rate up for a few breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Well done. Have a bit of a break. All right, let's see about getting back onto the mat. Let's do a roll down, going backwards this time. Move my camera again. All right. Starting at the top end of your mat, we're going to end up lying back that way on our mat. Do the roll down we did to begin with. Toes touching, heels bent out to the sides a little bit. Chin on your chest, roll the head down. Let your hands slide down your thighs, bend through the middle body. Let your tailbone glide away, bending forwards. From here, bend yourself up into a ball. If you need to stop here and get yourself onto the ground using a furniture or kneeling down and lying down, that's fine. Crouch down into a ball, and if you can, with control, crouch down into a little mushroom. And we're going to try and roll down once you're sitting, or whatever position way you've needed to get into sitting. Try sitting here, arms out in front. We're all going to do this together. See if we can roll down. Feet are on the floor, knees are bent. Start tilting back. Hollow through your belly, round your belly. Try and get your tailbone to touch the mat. Top of the sacrum touches the mat. Now the lower back's starting to touch. Hold with me, use your belly here. Middle of the back touches. The ribs you feel starting to touch. Let the shoulder blades touch. And lastly, the head and the hands touch the mat. Well done, you landed. Excellent. If you have a little ball handy, something like a small chi ball or a tennis ball or a bigger ball, if you have it, that's fine. You don't have to use it though. You could pop the ball between your knees. I'll try and use the bigger one so you can see it. Between your knees, resting on the mat. With your feet, knees bent up. Take a moment, the heart rate's up a bit now, I'm feeling warm. Rock and roll through the pelvis. See if you can activate the core muscles here, bringing your pubic bone up towards your ribs, rocking and rolling through the hips, like there's an axle in your hip bones. That's the point of rotation. As you flatten your lower back into the mat, stick your tailbone out into the mat and arch your back. There's a gap here. Flatten your back, arch your back, rock and roll, back and forth. Until we find what in Pilates we call the imprinted position or a neutral spine, your low back somewhat flattened onto the mat. See if you can hold that by compressing belly muscles towards each other, bringing your ribs towards your hip bones to maintain your low back flat on the ground. From here, we're going to push the hips up into the air to roll up into a glute bridge. Hips are off the ground here. Roll back down, one vertebrae at a time to touch your bottom to the mat. Let's flatten again. Check that the ribs are not flaring, low back's flat. Tailbone peels first, one vertebrae at a time up into the air. Roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. Feeling warm through your legs. Hamstrings and glutes are working hard. Push into your heels. If you need your toes up, you can do that. Flatten the back, tailbone first. Peeling off. Bit of air and breath underneath the back. Roll back down, one vertebrae at a time to the mat. And relax the back. Let's go 2 more times. Flatten, roll and lift. Pushing into the ground with your heels. And back down. If your low back's feeling uncomfortable here, check that you're really working hard to tuck your tailbone under, pull your pubic bone up towards your nose. For the next 5, I want you to push up and hold up into the air, and we're going to hold there for 3 while we do a chest press, back down. Chest press, back down. 1 more time. And come back down with your arms. Roll your bottom back down onto the mat. Let's try and combine that again. Peel the bottom up into the air, squeezing through your legs. Hands come up in front like you're holding a barbell, pushing that away from you. Third one there, arms back down, roll the pelvis back down onto the ground. Got 3 more to go. Flatten your low back. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor. For the gentlemen, nuts to guts. Peel your vertebrae one at a time up into the air. Hold your bottom up in the air as we do 3 chest presses. I must improve my bust. Third one, hands back down. Let your hips come back down to the mat. Lucky last, flatten the low back. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor, ladies. Ribs compress towards hip bones. Push into your heels. Lift the glutes up into the air. 3 chest presses. Press above and down. You could do this one with a small child, perhaps if you've got one lying around at home. Third one up in front of your chest, back down. Roll the pelvis back down onto the mat. If your back's feeling a bit uncomfortable, take the ball away if you've had one. Rock your knees from side to side. So you get a bit of a twist and a relaxation through the back. Feet stay on the mat, flip-flop the knees. Tick-tock like windscreen wipers. All right, in this position, we're going to try a little bit more work with the ball. Again, you don't have to do this with a ball. We're going to see if we can go from the ankles with the ball to your hands. See how this goes? You might have a wall here too, so you can't quite reach. Lying outstretched. See how you go, lifting your legs up towards you. Knees might need to be bent. Reach for the ball with your hands and come back down. Pass the ball up towards your feet. Hands above your head, legs back down. If you're finding this tricky, bend your knees. Keep your knees in that bent position. Just drop your knees up towards you. Touch your ankles or your shins or your knees, and then come back down with your hands, feet and hands, knees to chest, and away. Knees to chest past the ball, or it's another small item, and away. If you want to challenge, legs are straight, hands are straight. Pass that ball up towards your ankles, and away. Working hard through the belly now. Pulling up and down. Knees can be bent. Just touch your hands towards your shins and away. Knees to chest and away. Just one more time. Tucking in and down. Very good. All right, keep the ball up near your knees, or visualize a ball in between your knees. We're going to go for a straight leg kick out. Hold one leg straight, flatten your low back, push up through the one bent leg to lift your bottom in the air, and then roll back down. Foot down to the mat, swap sides, extend the leg, flatten the low back, push up through that single leg that's holding you, roll back down. Swap legs, foot to the mat, extend the knee, holding the leg straight. Push into your foot that's touching the ground, peel your body up off the mat, roll your body back down and back down again. You can stay with a double leg bridge for this if it's too hard to push up through one leg. You don't have to do the extension. You can push through both feet, peeling your hips up into the air, and then roll one vertebrae at a time back down. And again, flatten, push into the feet, squeeze and lift. If you're holding still straight out with the extended leg, then that's great. Keep alternating sides with each repetition. Lift the hips up and down. For a challenge, put your hands near your chest or out to the sides so that you're not tempted to push with your hands. Last one, extend the leg, flatten the back, peel your vertebrae one at a time up into the air, roll back down and relax. Again, a couple of TikTok rocks side to side if you need to loosen up your low back. A couple of deep breaths. Everyone's doing really well. Just checking in on my little list. Okay, let's try this one. Both legs up into what we call double leg tabletop in Pilates. 90-degree bend at the hips and the knees, keeping the ball at the knees if you can. We're going to go for a crunch action, bringing your chest up towards your thighs and back down. Bring your chest towards your thighs and back down. You don't have to do this. You can keep your feet flat on the mat and do a little crunch. Chest towards thighs and down. If you're staying up in double leg tabletop, try and use your belly muscles to lift your shoulder blades and your head off the mat and come back down. If your neck's feeling tight, hold onto your head with your hands so the weight of your head is taken by your arms, and you do the crunches, bringing your chest towards your thighs. For another 3, curling up and down. Head and shoulders lifting off the mat. That's 2. Last one, curling up. Keep your low back flat on the mat and roll back down, head down. Good stuff. Bit of a classic crunch there. Abdominal work. Okay, now we're going to go for a little bit of an ab bike. Still working strong through the tummy. I promise to get a break soon. Take the ball, if you've got one, pop it against your thigh near your knee, and your elbow is going to hold it there on the same side. If you don't have the ball, try and bring your elbow to your knee. Same side knee touches same side elbow. Meanwhile, this other side is going to extend away. We're going to touch towards. Extend away the arm and the leg and bring them back towards the center. Extend away, back to center. I'll show you with a bit better vision on the side nearest the camera. Elbow and knee are touching on one side. The whole time while you extend, touch the other side together, extend away. So it's a one-sided, slow and smooth dead bug. When we extend the leg and the arm away, the temptation is that your back will want to pop and flex away from the ground. Try and keep it flat using your belly muscles. One more time on that side and bring it back together. Put the ball down or just hold onto your knees, hug your knees towards your chest. If your knees don't bend like that, just bring your thighs towards your chest. Give your low back a bit of a massage. Breathe deep into your belly, let everything relax. We're going to try the other side though. So one knee touches the same side elbow and the other side is reaching away coming towards. Keep your low back flat on the mat the whole time. Exhale, effort. Inhale, return. Exhale, effort. Inhale, return. 7 to go. Exhale away. Inhale, return. Exhale away. Inhale, return. Couple more. Doing well, everyone. Low back flat. Keep compressing your belly muscles so that your ribs and your pubic bone are staying connected. Lucky last one. Smooth and controlled. Exhale, effort. Inhale, return. Good stuff. Well done. Have another hold of your knees towards your chest. Massage your lower back. Maybe do some circles with your knees so you can feel a lovely massage of the ground against your back. Going the other direction. Feel the pressure shift of the contact of the floor against your back, your sacrum, your hips, your tailbone. Come into rest with feet flat on the floor. Okay. We've got a little challenge in a half-seated position now, still with the leg muscles and belly muscles. Come up into a half-sit. Lean back a bit onto your hands, maybe even onto your elbows if you prefer. The challenge now is to trace boxes with both our feet. So leaning back into what's often a V-sit position, sometimes we might be doing it in these sort of shapes. Leaning back, let your feet come up into the air, lean onto your hands if you need it. Take both feet up so you're tracing a box in the air with both feet. Up through the centre, out to the sides. Nice sharp corners on your boxes, people. Whoop, and back up to the top. One more time, out to the sides, down with that box shape, in together, knees back up, feet to the floor, let your belly have a relax. Twist side to side if you need a break. We're going to try the same thing, but in the opposite direction. I'll give you a very unglamorous view so you can see the box shape. Leaning back on your hands or even onto your elbows if you need. If you can do this without your hands helping, then that's fine. You can have your arms out straight in front, but we're going for feet up in front. Go down first, out to the sides, up to the front, back together. 3 to go, feet down and out to the sides, lean back, feet up, back to the center. Last one, feet down, out to the sides, up to the top, back to center, feet back down to the mat, and have a relax. Wriggle the legs side to side. Do what you need to do to have a bit of a stretch and a move to let those belly muscles relax. You've been working really hard. Nothing like a bit of a burn to get the muscles really feeling like they work today. Okay, we're flipping over now. Good news is this front side and crunching action gets to stop. See if you can come over onto your tummy now, please. In this position, we're going to try a bit of a planking series. Depending on what's most comfortable for you, your plank might be on your forearms, your elbows, your toes. It might be on your knees. You might be on your hands, or you might be hands and toes as opposed to hands and knees. Whatever feels challenging enough for you to do some movements. All right, so from here, perhaps with your elbows and toes on the ground, we're going to go for a knee to elbow, straight back out behind. Opposite knee to elbow, like you're climbing a hill, back out behind, back into plank. I'll try that again so perhaps you can see it. Knee up to elbow, back to plank. Opposite knee to elbow, back to plank. We're going to do a little hip dip. Drop one hip to the side and the other side, back to center. We're only doing this 3 times. Knee to elbow, come back. Knee to elbow, other side. Come back to plank. Hold it there. Breathe deep. Hip dip to the left. Back to center. Hip dip to the right. Back to center. Drop to your knees if you're getting too tired. Anytime we can have a break in child's pose. Take the knee to the elbow to sit back to plank. Knee to the elbow. Back to plank. Hip dip left. Hip dip right. Back to center. Drop to your knees. Extend down to child's pose. Well done. Head to the mat. Relax your forehead down on the mat. Take a couple of big, deep belly breaths there. Knees are wide, toes together. If that's not comfortable for you, you could stay kneeling and just stretch with your hips high. Whatever's a comfortable resting position. Maybe you just need to sit on the couch and watch for a little while and catch your breath. Okay, a couple more challenges here. It's really strong on the abs tonight. All right, let's see how we go. What we're going to try is a little down dog to plank series. So this is the plank. Here's down dog. When you're here in down dog, I want you to try opposite hand to opposite foot Back up to plank. Hips up in the air, down dog. Opposite hand on the other side now, hand to shin or hand to ankle. Back to plank. Hips high, down dog. Right hand, left shin. Put your hand back, look up, down to plank. Exhale, effort. And inhale, return. Hold the plank, inhale, prepare. Push away. Exhale, touch the opposite ankle with your hand. Look forward, come down to plank. Planking up, hips high, in down dog. Opposite hand to opposite leg. Alternating sides each time. Move in time with your breath. Inhale with the effort, exhale with effort, sorry. Inhale, return. One more time each side. Hips high, touch your leg. Even if you just reach your knee or your thigh. Last one, hips high, down dog, opposite side. Hands back, look to center. Hold the plank for 2, 1, drop to your knees. Have another break in child's pose if you need it. Couple of restorative breaths, deep into your belly. Head rests on the mat, nice and relaxed. You've done really well. You've earned a bit of a breather. We're starting to wrap things up. Just a couple more to go. So the next one is a little bit more high intensity, just to finish with a last little heart rate raiser. Couple of options here. You could, if you've got some weights handy, you could be on some weights in a mountain climber position. And we're going to try going back and forth with the legs and possibly doing so quite fast, back and forth. Not for very long. I'm just going to do 2 rounds of 10 seconds on this. You don't have to be on weights. You can be on your hands. You could be perhaps even standing. If I've still got anyone that was finding this a little bit challenging, you could lean against the wall, lean yourself away, and try some mountain climbers when you're leaning on the wall. Not so intense for the core. So we're going to try and move quickly for 10 seconds in either position, and then pause for a break and then do another round of 10 seconds. So leaning on the wall if you need to for some fast mountain climbers. Otherwise, those joining me on the mat, holding out in a plank. If you want to move slowly, that's an option too, but otherwise let's go for fast for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, breathe. 6, 5, keep it going. 4, 3, 2, 1, and have a breather. Come down into child's pose. Pace it around the room if you need a break. Holding for a bit of a rest for 10, 9, breathe deep. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, round 2. Back down into plank. If you're here on the wall with me, let's go for 10 fast mountain climbers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Nice work to keep up the intensity and collapse. Well done. Good stuff, guys. You've really stuck it out. We're going to really start to breathe it back down now. Really let everything come back down to earth. Heart rates, breathing rate, bodies, all of it. So we're staying on the mat. We're going to cool down in just a moment. First though, if you want to try one last little stretch with me, it's a variation of the downward facing dog. For anyone else that wants to start relaxing, you're most welcome. Hands underneath your shoulders, feet underneath you in a plank. Push your hips up to the ceiling. Stretch down into downward facing dog, looking down towards your knees. Lift one leg up into the air, extend it behind, bend the knee, drop your hip open so you can see your foot appearing underneath your armpits. See if you can get that foot down to the ground. Starting up onto one arm and 2 legs here. Stretch back into wild thing. Look back over to the mat. Hand down to the ground. Roll the leg up behind you. 3-legged dog. Take that foot down to the mat. Welcome to stay in downward facing dog for a few breaths or child's pose. Perhaps just sitting in a chair and wondering what the hell is going on. Let's try the other side. Extend the other leg up into the air. 3-legged dog. Look down towards your knees. Bend the knee that's in the air. Take it to the side so you can see it under your armpits. Keep twisting, twisting until your foot hits the mat. You've got 2 feet, 1 arm supporting you as you reach back. Wild thing stretch. Take your hand back over, foot up in the air. Three-legged dog, put that foot back down. I've slipped and slided all over my mat here. Into down dog. Big breath in. Look up at your hands, come down to plank. Exhale down onto the mat. Do a reverse push-up and collapse on the mat. I invite you now to lie onto your back or come into a comfortable seated position. If you're lying on your back, try putting feet together, knees dropped out to the side, palms facing up in an open hip stretch, relaxed position. For those of you who might be sitting, you're welcome to just take a seated posture that's comfortable on the mat, perhaps leaning against a wall. Maybe you've got a chair or a comfy couch nearby. I invite you to have a sit in that. So you're just taking a comfortable posture where you're allowing your body to rest heavily on the surface that's supporting you, perhaps with the ground or the mat along your back, holding your head, holding the weight of your legs, soles of the feet touching, knees drop to the sides. Perhaps you can feel the chair or the couch pressing against your back and the backs of your thighs, supporting the weight of your buttocks. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Notice the points of contact of your body on that surface that's holding you. Feel the effect of gravity pushing down, keeping you grounded tonight. Okay. Do a little relaxation activity together. Whatever position you're in, whether it's seated, lying, supported seated, on a couch or a chair. Just want you to draw your attention to your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest and belly. Perhaps you can feel your pulse. Notice it echoing in your ears and throbbing in your throat. Just notice that rise and fall of your breath. See if we can start to make the size of the breath equal on the inhalation and the exhalation. For a count of 3, breathe in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3. Again, breathe in, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3. 2 more breaths. This time we're going in for 4 and out for a count of 6. Empty your belly. Breathe in deep. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In for 4, 3, 2, 1. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Allow your breathing to go back to normal. Allow the belly to rise and fall with each breath. There's no more effort, no more exertion now. Everything can let go. To help it along the way, you could try tensing everything up. Tense your fists. Clench all your muscles in your arms. Tense up your shoulders. Screw up your face. Tense your legs. Screw up your toes. Tense, 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 tense. Clench your buttocks. And then just let it relax. Let everything go. Allow your toes to uncurl, the weight of your legs to sink into the floor or the chair, the weight of your belly to sink lower with each breath out. Shoulders, let them drop away from your ears. Hands are soft, fingers are curling. And lastly, allow your eyebrows to relax. Let your ears relax. And perhaps rest with your tongue resting gently behind your top teeth. Have a gentle smile to yourself, smug in the fact that you've done a bit of a workout this soon after Easter. Think of how much your body will be loving it. Thanks very much for coming to the class or participating in the online recording. Thank you, everybody.